the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. This speech was delivered in 1963. Nishita, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible, ma'am. Audible.
Thank you. Thank you. So this speech was given in 1963, where the situation in terms of racial discrimination was very, very bad. Children, um, do you think, see, he belonged to the United States of America and he said this in 1963. And today, to this age, almost 60 years down the line, do you think his dream has been realized? Are the people not being treated in an in a disrespectful way because of the color of their skin? I'm not able to see the chat box as I'm presenting here in the full screen. I would like you all to just type in the chat box, and I would like somebody to, some child, maybe anybody, any child, to just read out a few points from the chats. I repeat my question. After 60 years, do you think his dream has been realized? Are the people not being judged by the color of their skin? Are there any answers in the chat box?
Yes,
Can
ma'am.
somebody?
Teachers are posting. Teachers are posting, not the students.
Okay. Can you just tell me one or two answers, please?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Still judged. They are still, ma'am. Being judged. Dream still lies unrealized. No, it has not been realized.
Thank you. Any child who has written?
From the student, Kiana and Tanisha has written. And from
Okay.
the teacher, okay, Reni ma'am has written racial discrimination continues. And Smita ma'am and Vandana ma'am and Shubham Kenny has written, ma'am, the situation or the problem is not solved, but it is still improved. Shubham Kenny
Okay.
has written.
So, right. So 60 years down the line, the problem seems to have improved, as Shubham said, but the dream has not been realized the way it was supposed to be. Does anyone remember a recent incident which is an evidence that the dream has not been realized? Recently, something happened in the United States of America with a black man. And if you know about the incident, can you just tell me the name, children? And we should even not say a black man, we should say a man of color. So something happened with the man of color, something so abhorring. Does anyone remember? This man was in news, has been in news for some time, for which the New York Department of Police, NYPD, has apologized to the entire black population, the colored population there. Is there any answer, Nishita? I'm not able to access the chat box at the moment.
Students have written name George.
Ma'am, George Floyd.
Okay, anybody
Students
else?
have written George Floyd. Yes, ma'am.
George Floyd, that's correct. So George Floyd was so badly uh, murdered. It was a murder, basically. So badly he was, and maybe he made a mistake. But then a mistake is to be treated as a mistake. Even if it's a crime, it's to be treated as a crime by law. There should be a proper law and order to be followed for judgment. But what happened? The white police, because of all the bias and prejudice that they have against the colored people, the treatment that was meted out to George, was so bad that it feels like humanity has completely died. This policeman, he he pressed the neck of this gentleman George with his knee for almost 8 minutes. He kept on pleading that I'm not able to breathe, but he was not released. And finally, he succumbed and he died. What I mean to say here is the discrimination, the prejudices are so deeply seated in the minds that It stops people from feeling the emotions of others. It is a big hindrance to being empathetic, to empathy. So what I'm trying to say is, let us all take a pledge that we would be open to different perspectives. We will try not to judge people based on their thoughts, based on their views, based on their color, gender, race, the financial status, the position, power, etc., because that would stop us from being empathetic. Now, what can we do to develop empathy? Good people skills. Now, good people skills are possible when you value and respect people, when you are not prejudiced, when you can talk openly, when you can share, when you can listen. So good people skills is a combination of many sub skills. And imagination, you should be able to imagine what is the world of the other person is like, because then only you can put yourself in the shoes of the person and think from that person's perspective to completely relate and to offer your empathy to the person. And why should we do that? What are the benefits? Benefits
Namaste,
of
ma'am. Sorry
Namaste.
to interrupt, ma'am. Are you
Yes,
changing the slide, ma'am?
yes, I changed.
But ma'am, we are unable to see the new slide.
Okay. Is
Now
anything
we can
visible
see.
now?
Now we can see, ma'am. Now we can see.
Now you can see.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you see this one, Nishita?
Yes, ma'am. We can see now benefits, better relationships, great well-being in life. Yes, ma'am. Now we can see.
So this was the previous slide, how to develop empathy. For that, one has to have good people skills. You should be able to communicate freely without judgment. You should be open-minded to new views, ideas of people. You should have listening skills, and you should express yourselves also, because people need to know you better to develop good relationship with you. And then imagination skills are important, to imagine what the other person is going through. And the benefits of empathy, it's that it leads to better relationships in life. And relationships are the most crucial things for our well-being in life, because human beings are social animals and we thrive on good relationships. So ultimately it leads to a greater well-being in life. Now, we have been talking of feelings and emotions. And like I said, before you understand feelings and emotions of others, you have to understand your own feelings and emotions. Then only you can relate to the other person. So do we even know how many feelings and emotions are there? So children, this is just a few of the emotions and feelings which you can see here on the screen. There are hundreds and hundreds of feelings and emotions other than these. But I would just give you 30 seconds to see a few words from here. So under each main feeling like sad, we simply use the word sad in so many contexts, but it may have such subtle over overcurrents. If a person is sad, he may have overcurrents, undercurrents of depression, desperation, dejection, heaviness, feeling crushed, feeling disgusted, upset. It's better we know all these words, because they have minor differences, but those minor differences are very important to understand the real situation.
Ma'am,
Excuse me,
we
ma'am.
are unable to see the new slide, ma'am.
I'm sorry, can you see now?
Yes, ma'am. We can see now. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I'm so sorry, what is happening? Can you see now, Nishita?
Yes, ma'am. We can see now. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So I was saying, there are main feelings like sad, happy, hurt, confident, energized, and many more. But these are the words we commonly use for many sub feelings. So we use happy in so many situations, but there is a difference. For example, amused. You feel amused when there is something funny happening. You feel delighted on something which lights up your spirit. You're glad. In general, you are pleased, charmed. So they have different meanings, and it's better we know these words to actually describe our emotions, because communication is important for relationships and for empathy. So to describe your own relationship, your own emotions, you need to know these words and these emotions. And if somebody else also is going through it and explains to you, and if you don't know what does the person mean, for example, a person says, I feel damaged. then you should understand what the person is trying to say. If the person says, I feel let down, what I'm saying is under the column of hurt. If the person says let down, you should understand what the person is trying to say. If the person says, I feel rejected, then you should be able to understand what that means, because accordingly you will imagine the situation and accordingly you'll be of some support to the person. Nishita, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible, ma'am. It's visible.
Thank you. Thank you. Now let us see how would you show empathy? How would we show empathy in different situations? I'm giving you some situations here. Nishita, you will have to tell me when it's just 5 minutes for the class to get over. Before that, please.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
So imagine a friend fails a test. I want you to tell me when a friend comes to you or you see a friend. Yeah,
Next slide is not visible, ma'am.
this one is not visible.
No, ma'am. Yeah, now it's visible. Now it's visible, ma'am. Now it's visible.
So you have to imagine a friend has failed in the test and you can see from the expressions that the person is not feeling good at all. And you are expected to be empathetic in such situations. So what would you say to the friend? What would you do to show your empathy? You can type in the chat box. And I would like some student to read out the answers now. Any student, please take the lead, children. What should you say? Any answers?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I would like some student to speak up. To read out the chats, at least children, you can do that. Any one of you?
Ma'am, it's written failure is the stepping stone to success. It's okay. Motivate them to work harder. Can try hard for the next test. Tell the
Be
friend that he
louder,
can
beta. Be a little louder.
tell the friend that he can get better and then help him to get better. We should learn from our defeat. Practice makes everyone perfect. Never give up. It's not the end. I am there with you. I will help you. Next time you will drop. Console him or her and tell them to work harder and give their best. We learn from our mistakes. It's okay, there is tomorrow. Go ahead with hope. Don't leave hope. Keep trying. And कोशिश करने वालों की हार नहीं होती. It's okay
Excellent.
to fail. Try again. We should approach the friend and inspire them to work for hard and help them in any way possible.
Wow, lovely responses, children. I'm so proud of you. So proud of you. Your friends are lucky to have you. People around you are lucky to have you. Now, let me tell you, most of the answers were on point. Wherever there is an advice, try to avoid that. You can work harder and you can do it better. It might make the person feel, did I not try enough? I did my best. How can I work harder than this? So at that moment, the person needs his feelings to be acknowledged. It would be better to say, I can understand how bad it feels because I know you have worked hard for it. So it's not always necessary to give an advice. And yes, all the statements about hope, that I know, I trust you, I know that next time you will do in a way which satisfies you. You will be happy with your next performance. I know. So showing that trust, that I trust you. Because in our life, what keeps us motivated, there are many factors which keep us motivated. One of them is trust of people. Why we do our best? Because we know that my parents trust me, my friend trusts me, my teacher trusts me, my spouse trusts me, my child trusts me. And that is the push, that is the motivation, that I cannot let them down. If they trust me, means I have it in me. So let your friend feel that you acknowledge his efforts, his potential, her potential. Give her hope. and let her know that you trust. You know that she has it in her. And just this one test cannot be a final result of her potential. So give hope, show trust, show that you acknowledge what she's going through. So you have to say, I really understand it's a terrible feeling for you because I know you worked hard for it. And I know you have it in you to do your best in this test. These words are so good that it would give such a feeling of loftiness. The person's heart soars and will forget that momentary pain that the person was feeling. So it's possible for us to do that. Now, second situation, a student gets bullied. Now imagine that it is happening in the school's washroom. One child has been cornered by some 2 3 students, and they are abusing or using some means of bullying, and you have witnessed it. How would you show empathy?
Ma'am, 5 minutes more.
Yeah,
5 minutes more, ma'am. 5 minutes more for the class.
5 minutes. Thank you so much, Ishka. I would like some responses to be written, please. What can we do? And children, nothing is wrong or right. And we are all learning. And what matters is your intentions are good. You're writing with good intentions to bring out your empathy. So just keep writing what comes to your heart. Okay, can someone please read if there are 1 or 2 3 answers? Can any child just read, please? Some other child?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, who's this?
Anya.
Thank you, Anya. Please read the answers.
Uh, stand up for your friend, protect the student, advise him, her to stand up for themselves too next time, support them and tell them that I will stand by you and we will fight it together, encourage her to stand up for herself and help her, stand up for the person who is being ignored and try to talk to his or her classmates. Try to not be
Talk to his
scared of
or her.
anyone and protest classmates.
Okay.
To not be scared of anyone and protect themselves.
Okay. Thank you very much. And more or less, we are on the same page. But here we cannot just end it with empathy. It has to be compassion, which is empathy in action. So first of all, you have to uh, make the child feel comfortable and protected, that he is safe with you. You have to, without entering into the personal space, because you don't know what kind of relationship you share with that child, might not even be your friend. So you have to get as close as it is comfortable for the person. Speak to him, say that it's okay, I'm with you, I am with you. We will see to it that you don't face it any further, and I will help you with this situation. They should not be doing it to you. I can feel how terrible it is for you, but you are not the only one. I am with you. I know there are many people, many children like me who would feel for you and who are with you. And then we are supposed, after you have expressed the empathy, it has to be in nice soothing tone. After that you are supposed to take an action, because just simply by saying this you cannot leave the child, that stand up for yourself, fight for yourself and gather more confidence. No, a child who is feeling stressed or depressed will not gather confidence, will not be able to do it. So then we are supposed to support, we are supposed to take an action, we have to find the right people to whom we can report the incident. For example, in the school it can be any senior teacher, it can be a coordinator, it can be the principal. It also has to be the parents of the child. You can tell the child, would you speak to your parents? Do you feel that I should approach and inform them? So, and you can speak to the teacher and the counselor and ask, what can I do about it? If they say we will take it from here, it's very good. So I feel, because we have very less time, These situations we will continue in our further classes. We have much more to do after this. But as of now, I'm stopping with this presentation. Can you all see me now? Children, I have stopped the presentation.
Yes, ma'am.
We can see you, ma'am.
Okay, before I end today's class, I just want you to write in the chat box what comes to your mind. Which recent incident comes to your mind when I have been talking about depression, talking about people to understand our feelings, having such relationships where we trust, where people give us hope. What recent incident comes to your mind?
Sushant Singh Rajput's death.
Yes. Let me quickly see what response comes to your mind. Yes, Sushant Singh Rajput's death. Suicide by Sushant Singh Rajput. So, children, all the aspects around this incident and similar incidents and how it happens and why it happens and what can be our role and what if we were in his shoes, what we could have done for ourselves, and if our friend is in his shoes, what can we do for our friend. These all answers can be understood if we have the skill of empathy, and that is why we are exploring the skill of empathy. We have started it today, we are not ending it today, and I look forward to meeting you again in the next class. Meanwhile, please try to read the speech by Martin Luther King Jr., I Have a Dream. I would ask you next time to show me what elements of empathy did you find in that speech. I want you to know about George Floyd. I want you to know a little about all these incidents like Sushant Singh Rajput. Do not immerse yourself too much into research or on screens, but get little information and think more about it. I want you to think more on the situation and what can be our role as a global citizen. We all are a part of this society which is driving people to take such actions. It is driving people like us to take such actions which should not be taken. So this, as a member of this global society, we need to think about it. And I hope next time when I meet you, you will be more informed, you would have done more of thinking, and you will be more prepared to share your views. It has been wonderful talking to all of you, and lots of love to all of you. And children, meanwhile, I want you to know that your teachers, your parents, and I am always approachable. You can always trust me. I cannot say on behalf of others. I'm sure they convey in their own ways. I can only speak for myself. I'm available. I will always try not to judge. I will try to understand each one of you as my own child, and very neutrally, without using any judgment, without giving an advice, but trying to understand your situation that a child of your generation at your age might go through. Never feel that you cannot approach people. There are some people, some relationships where you can completely open up, and life is too beautiful. We'll talk about all this in the next class. Why life is too beautiful, how it is so beautiful. What if a person is too depressed? What can a person do in such situations? Because a person like Sushant Singh Rajput was a highly intelligent student. He was a student of third year of mechanical engineering when he left studies for his passion of acting. In fact, he had such a great passion for physics and astronomy, and I mean there is a lot that I can say. He was a all India rank 7 in AIEEE examination, that is engineering entrance examination for all India, in 2003. So it shows that all our academic intelligence, all academic understanding of subjects still may not help us at that time when we are in dire need to understand the beauty of this life. So leaving you with more food for thought, because along with your physics, chemistry, and mathematics, it's very important to know how to live our lives with a feeling of gratitude, appreciating every moment, and having the desire to live. The desire to live is so important. So explore that, find out what makes you feel like living a long life, living every single day. And that's what should be always burning in our hearts. So, looking forward to meeting you soon. It was great interacting with you. I love you all. God bless you. Thank you. See you again next Friday. Thank you, Nishita. Thank you, all the teachers who have been
Thank you,
here.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you
ma'am.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you, ma'am. Bye.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you,
Bye.
ma'am.
Thank you. God bless
Thank you, ma'am.
you. Thank you so much.
Bye, ma'am.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
You take care,
Thanks a lot.
children.
Thank you, ma'am.
And what I said applies to all my friends also, all the colleagues also.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes,
Thank you, children.
sure.
Thank you,
Thank you, ma'am.
everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Thank you, Pita. Bye bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.